Hello. I'm just sitting here comfy on my couch, and I figured this would be my first official video. I don't know. I wanted to just make videos about my crafting journey. I don't know. I haven't really decided what I want to do. I know that whatever I do will be super relaxed, because honestly I just don't have the time or energy to put in anything else in my life. And I just want to chill on my couch or in my bed and all the free time that I have available and craft, basically. And since, oh my god, Peanut! And just get distracted by my cat. She wants to play with her wand toy. I should preface this by saying, very ADHD. I'm going to get off topic a lot. And that's just gonna be a thing. And I shouldn't make a video after a 9-hour workday and just no thoughts. But anything I make, it's gonna be chill. It's not gonna have a lot editing. It's not gonna have maybe the most interesting setup. I'm just gonna make shit, you know, and show you what I'm making, because I like watching what other people are making. I find it really fascinating, and I enjoy just like having a chill video on in the background where someone is just telling me about the stuff that they're doing, and it's fun, you know. I want to be a part of that because I like consuming that content, so I want to create that content. I still feel weird in front of the camera, even though I make vlogs for my friend like every week. But they're private, you know, so I don't feel like I have an audience. But I'm just gonna talk a little bit, create a preface to these videos, I guess. You can see I've got my crochet blanket here, which I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but this is my temperature blanket that I made for 2022, and it was an ordeal, I will say. I completed it after about, I would say somewhere around 14 months it took me, which is not, you know, super bad for a year-long project. Would I do it again? Probably no. If I did do it again, see, this is off topic, but if I did do it again, which I should make a video about it, there are a lot of things I would do differently. So yeah, maybe I'll make a whole video about that, because I have no content ideas whatsoever. I don't know how people even come up with them because, again, no thoughts. But I should preface this by saying my name's Kara. Hello, welcome. If we've never met before, probably the only people that will be watching this are people that I have met before and are my friends and actually maybe are interested in what I have to say. That'd be cool. I'll show you the only thing that I have next to me right now that I'm currently working on, which is a whole new experience for me. Okay, maybe that's not it. Maybe I should tell you more. I do knitting. I've been knitting for about 11 years now. That was my cat. He kind of sounds like a bird sometimes. I just started crochet maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I don't really remember. I'm very new to spinning, is like my new recent obsession, and I will probably be making a lot of videos about spinning. I do cross stitch, not a fan of embroider, because it takes a lot more creativity in my mind, and I like the mathematical. And what else do I do in the fiber arts? I've been trying to get into sewing. I haven't yet, but one day. Tunisian crochet, I'm into that as well. I think that's it. Is there anything else? Buying yarn, I'm into that as well. I don't think that's an art. Anyway, now that we've got that established, we can move on, right? Excuse me. Who's calling at the door? Which one of you is it? Peanut? Peanut? Tiny? Oh my God. Who the heck? I think it's Gideon. I'm gonna have to cut this part out, and I'm gonna forget to do it, and then look at the rainbows. Hey! Okay, I'm back. The cat's probably gonna scream in the background. He's new. That just reminded me of that video of the cat. Oh God. The person coming in and asking to like set up an appointment, and it's just a cat looking around, and then the person goes, he's new. Anyway, he's new, and he hasn't made a reveal yet, but cats are separated, and so he's wanting to make his way out here. My cat's freaking out. My first cat's freaking out. But she's pretty chill. Hey! Hi, Smash! Come here! Come here! Here she is. There's Peanut. Hello. And let's get back into it. As I was saying, this is my first crochet stuffed animal. I want to say amigurumi because that's how I pronounce it in my head, and I've never looked up how to actually say it. So I should have done that before this video. But as we said, it's going to be chill, okay? We're going to say things wrong, and we're going to correct them later on because we're people, and that's what we do. As you can see, he has a lot of ends to be woven in, and I don't like the arm yet. I kind of want to, if I can like hold it up. I've got a lot to say about this, and I'm going to put the pattern creator and the link to the pattern in the description because I don't know it off the top of my head. But it is a pattern that I bought on, did I buy it on Ravelry? No, I think I bought it on Etsy. And I used this Bernat Baby Velvet yarn, which is this pink color. I have, I don't see color names on here. Oh no, this is the, I don't have the other one. I have this blue one and this pink one. This one's called Indigo Velvet, which I know from here. This one I don't know what it's called. Baby pink? I don't know. And, oh, hello, excuse me, you're in the way. Excuse me. Can you move? Can you move? And we're back. I've always hated this yarn. I don't know why, but whenever I see people making things with this yarn, I would always think, ew, get better yarn. I'm sorry if you use this yarn. I don't mean to be judgmental, but I am a very judgmental person. But anyway, so this is the first time I've ever used it. I thought it would be a good yarn for a stuffed animal. And I was asked to make a stuffed dinosaur as a baby shower gift for my upcoming niece. And this is what I chose. It is very soft. I will admit it's very soft and I do like it. Did I like working with it? No. I think it would be a lot easier to work with knitted. With crochet, when the yarn comes close together, it's really hard to see your stitches, especially on this pink one. I don't know why. I actually thought it would be harder on this dark blue, but it was harder on the pink one. And I chose to use the main color as the pink, so that was fun. Anyway, my grip with this yarn is, maybe I can show you on this little piece of scrap. If you get a knot in it, don't ever think about getting it out. There we go. I just pulled it out, and now you can see I've basically stripped the fuzz, and now it's just a piece of thread. And I've got little bits of fluff just basically everywhere. I don't like it in terms of usage. Finished product, it looks good, it feels good. How it's gonna hold up, couldn't tell you. I haven't washed it. As I said, I've never done this style of crafting before. And thoughts on the pattern. I don't know if it's just the pattern specifically. I like the overall product. Like, I feel like I could vibe with this. As a grown adult, I could vibe with this. I did make a change. I embroidered the eyes. You know, you're not supposed to use plastic eyes for things that babies will use and can choke on, so I did crochet. I did like a magic ring. And then I put little bits of green in there to give it a little color, and then the little reflection, whatever that's called, to give it some depth. And my problem with the pattern is not a problem with the pattern itself. No hate to the creator, but creating this crest it's just a bit heavy, and so it does kind of fall back, which I wish it would stand up more. I don't want to put anything in it because it's supposed to be a stuffed animal. Okay, Peanut. Let's just get used to that. Secondly, the worst thing for me was assembling it together. Creating the actual bits, enjoyed it. Super easy. Pattern is really easy to understand. If you've ever crocheted before, like, you'll get it down instantly. Assembling it has been my biggest issue. First of all, I wish I couldn't, like, a lot of the shapes, I used a polyester fill, and I couldn't get the shapes to be how I wanted. Like, if I squeeze it, I like the shape of the leg a lot better. Ooh, with a rainbow hitting it? Yes. I also kind of just fucked up a little bit with the color change. Typically, you know, when you do a color change in crochet, you do the last leg pull through with the new color so that your next loop is your new color. I don't know why that did not work for this. I haven't figured that out, but you can see it in every color change, which is fun. Also, like, I'm just very perfectionist about this, especially if it's something that I'm giving away to someone. If it's something I'm making myself, like, I can have a ton of errors in it and I don't care. But when I'm giving it to someone else, I'm like, it has to be perfect, or else I'll think I'm a terrible artist. Other than that, I don't love that the head is a lot larger than the body. according to my boyfriend, according to my friend, that's, you know, that's what makes it cute. The head's bigger. For me, my problem is the head is just a little too heavy and it wants to fall back. And I've tried sewing it down further down this like chin area and attaching it to the body, but then it just looks like drooped. I can't figure it out for the life of me. The arms, like I want it to be a little more attached. And I don't know. I'm like still, I have about 2 weeks until this needs to be given away. The cat's scratching at the door. I wish he wouldn't do that. And as you can see, I've got ends to weave in, but I haven't woven them in yet because I'm not content with the placing, with the way things look yet. And I was like, I just want to like squeeze. That looks wrong, but like I want this to be see, now I like it. Now it looks sharper and I'm like strangling this to death. Anyway, that's one of the most recent things I've created. I do have a video of a baby blanket. I'm really distracted by the cats because he's trying to get out, and I think he's ripping up the carpet and the door. Hold on, I need to scream. Okay, well, I've changed locations to my bedroom because, look, not to like show off my boobs or anything, but this is all that polyester yarn everywhere. Anyway, he couldn't be alone, so I had to move in here. Are you crazy? Are you absolutely batshit crazy? Yes, I am. What else can I say? I don't really have anything else to show at the moment. Oh, right. So I filmed a few clips at work, which I will post in here. Probably do a little voiceover. He pooped. It smells. I didn't realize when I came in here. But I was working on a baby blanket and I did finish it, which I'm feeling very successful. Haven't woven in the ends. You'll see when I'm working on it in the video, that's what I'm doing, weaving in the ends. Like many people, not my favorite part. I don't hate it, but it's like you get to the point where you're basically done and then you have to weave in the ends, you know? So if I had actually woven them in during the process, I think it wouldn't have bothered me. But having it be like the last thing before it's finished, it's like, come on, let's just not. And so I'll do a little voiceover over those clips because it's just me at work. Some of my coworkers that I share a little office space with weren't there. So I'm like, this is probably too much information to share, but he was licking his balls and he just got neutered, so I had to make sure he wasn't licking his, incisions. Anyway, to explain that distraction, and now I've like completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, didn't have any coworkers around, so I was able to film what I was doing. I was watching a video and just working on that. So I will talk a little bit about the yarn I was using, the pattern I was using, maybe a little more into that. And yeah, those are the only two things that I've worked on lately. Other than that, I've been spinning yarn. I kind of have this idea of, I've got these, I'll even have, actually, you know, here's another thing that I recently finished. So this is a little cowl that I made. Oh, I love it. It looks really nice in the lighting. And this is another pattern I'll have to put in the description because I don't know it off the top of my head. I did use this pink that goes through it. Was made by Southampton Valley Yarns, was 72% kid mohair and 28% mulberry silk. So that was what I used for that. And for the actual, the rest of it, I used, this is Cloudborn Fibers, Highland Fingering in the color Stone Heather. And I got this, websyarn.com, and it was one of their like closeout sales or something. So this is made in Peru. It's 100% fine Highland wool. So I was just looking for a wool that was affordable, and I wanted like a fingering or sock weight or sport weight, and then a mohair to kind of add a little color to. And then I chose, the pattern that I chose actually was a cowl pattern that had basically four different patterns you could choose from. And I really have been vibing with the cables. I recently learned how to do cables without a cable needle, so I've just been like, let's get this bitch. I haven't washed it yet. It was in my pile of things to wash. So I haven't worn it. And basically, I finished it right at the end of winter, right at the beginning of spring, and I don't know if I'll get to wear it until the end of the year. Basically, finish it and I never get to wear it. Other than that, what else? So, things I want to talk about eventually. Oh, I did want to mention, my boyfriend said it looked like I was knitting a butthole. So it's always nice when you work really hard on something and you're like really into it, and then someone says it looks like an asshole. I don't agree. In certain ways I do. The coloring, I was really happy with the coloring. At first I was like, ooh, browns and pinks. But then when I think about it, it's almost like these are like veins. To put that in your head, because it's in my head now. It's like, wow, all that hard work that I put into it. No, but I can definitely see myself wearing it in the future, of course. And if I flip it, it almost just is like a cool little ribbing. And it's actually kind of chilly in here because I have the window open, so I could actually wear this right now. What else? I've got plenty of things I can talk about. I don't really know my intentions for this video. Should have thought about that before I started, but again, chill vibes, right? My upcoming ideas. Don't know what that sound was. You can see here in my little basket, I've got a bunch of fibers in here. Literally, there's like about 15 different ones, and then I have a whole box in my living room of plenty more. I have gotten really into spinning. I think that's like the air or the heating or something, and it's louder than I thought it was going to be. And so I want to do a series. I want to do a series where I go through, I got a bunch of different samples of a bunch of different types of fiber. I think it's all sheep so far. And kind of just vlog a little bit of the process of me spinning, creating yarn, and then talking a little bit about the history that I've learned about. Just very fascinated with fiber at the moment, and that's my idea. I did a little bit of research today on the video I'm thinking about for a wool that I'm nearly finished and quite excited about. And now I'm rambling because I am not sure where I'm taking this. Here's a cat. So maybe I'll finish here. I don't know. Maybe I'll find something I want to add. But other than that, like, that's just some things I've been working on and I'm thinking about. Yeah. And I never know how to end videos, no matter who they're for. I don't know how to end them. So I'm gonna say peace. For now. Maybe. I don't know. If I'll ever see you again, I perhaps will not. Because I'm not good at keeping up with anything that's not the basic necessities of life, and even then, I do struggle. If you can see the mess of my room. Oh, that was another thing I was gonna say. So, I had some ideas of kind of chill, like, craft with me type of videos where we talk about my other hobbies, which is reading. Talking about media I'm consuming, books I've read recently, shows I've watched recently. Granted, I don't really watch a lot of TV because I really don't have a lot of time. The cat is playing with hair tie bumping. I literally have my camera propped up on a cat carrier. And maybe music I'm listening to. I don't know, you know? Let's just chat about things we enjoy. And that's all I've got for you right now at the moment. Clearly, have no mental capacity to add to that. So, again, double peace. Okay, here I am at work, and I'm just showing you the yarn that I'm using. Nifty Cotton by Cascade Yarn. Here I've got a whole tangle. Okay, we've got color 42, and it's upside down. There we go. I guess I'm just showing you what yarn we're using here. What yarn we're using for this baby blanket. Then we've got two other colors. We've got our speckled purple, Nifty Cotton as well, but Nifty Cotton Effects. And we've got color 301. And then lastly, let's pull the tangles and find color 304, which clearly I've labeled as speckled black, so I don't forget. And here I am at work, so we've got a beautiful blue background and my little monster guy back there. No one in my little office area was there, so I had free reign to just kind of film and not be fully embarrassed. Here we go. Oh yeah, we've got a full shot
of the finished baby blanket. I didn't know. I actually got a shot of this, so I inserted a picture later on, which I can now delete. I really like it. I almost wish I would have used a smaller hook size to make it a little denser. So it is quite airy. I don't really know. You know, I don't have a baby, so, oh my goodness. Do be minding my finished lunch container, and just like the complete mess back there. Maybe I should blur that out. I don't know if I am capable of blurring out on this very simple editing software I'm using. Here I am showing you the last beautiful step of the process, which is weaving the ends. Weaving the ends gets a real bad rap. And you know what? I completely understand what everyone's saying, you know? It's shit to weave in ends, but only, see, this is my viewpoint, but only at the end, you know? Because it's like, I don't mind sewing, right? I like a little bit of cross stitch, not embroidery, but I like a little bit of cross stitch. So I don't mind the sewing action. It's just that it's like you're basically done, but you're not, you know? And that's what sucks about weaving in the ends. And clearly you can do it. You can do it, you know, while you're working. And I sort of do, you know, with crochet, I kind of like I'll hold the extra end. Oh, I'm laughing at a video. I wonder what I was watching. I have no idea. Actually, you know what? I think I was watching someone else's little crafty video. I was watching another little vlog of some Aussie lady. I don't remember what it is anymore. But, you know, you gotta stay entertained when you're weaving ends. Although some people find it therapeutic. But, you know, it's like, I don't have a good way to describe why it sucks so much at the end. It's like, you know, when you bake a cake and you really want to frost it, but, like, you have to wait for the cake to cool, and you're like, why? I don't want to wait, but I understand the purpose of it. It makes for a more beautiful cake, but I don't want to do it, you know? You see, I don't have a better analogy, but, you know, that's all I can come up with, because I feel like I'm on the spot here with this voiceover, but also, oof, the ends on these were so hard to get in through the tiny one. Here we go. Clearly I've done a little, let's get all up in there, okay? This is trying to go for a more autistic shot, a more artistic, okay? Get your words out, Kara. You know, like, let's get close up in there. Let's see the baby's head bursting into the world, right? So here you'll see, I remember this specifically, how difficult it was to film this, because I've decided to do a little bit of a little splice weaving. I don't know what the word is, but I realized in doing so, you need a little gripper. You need like a little grippy grip in order to grab onto that sewing needle. Pulling it through once you've like tried to weave it through a bunch of pieces of yarn, it's like, oh, this is a battle. Where are my, you know, when you get out of the bath or the pool and your fingers are all gross, and I feel like that would be more efficient. Give me those wrinkled fingers to pull on this. Look at this. Look at me struggling. And I know that I'm filming, so I'm like, come on, bitch, pull. At least we got that one. But yeah, I decided, I don't know if this is a thing. I know it's like splicing is a thing when you're connecting colors, but I was like, you know, it's gonna take a little battle here. It's gonna take a beating. Oh, so here is the original. Here's the original. And that's my little reminder of where we came from, and I hated the back. I'm not a garter person. I love stockinette, and specifically, here's where it was. Okay, wait. See, this is that moment. This is that moment that when you know you fucked up. I saw this and I was like, something's off about this, and I don't be vibing with it, you know, it just feels wrong. Something feels wrong, can't figure out what it is. I had this amazing pattern, which I will actually link because it looks really cool, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. And I'd like to recreate it at some point, but it just, you know, my friend said maybe the colors just don't work with this pattern, and you can try something else. And she was right, you know, these colors worked a lot better with a different pattern. I mean, I wanted to knit, unfortunately, and I had to crochet, but you know, it worked out. And of course I will link, I think I already maybe mentioned this earlier, but I will link the pattern for the baby blanket down below, because I roughly followed a pattern. It's not exact, so like, you know, if you think it looks bad, it's like hers is better. But anyway, yeah, I found it to be very difficult to find colors that I liked, you know, that I could find cotton and all the same weight. And so this is where we ended up. Yep, had to scrap it.
Hi, hello. It is currently 8 p.m. on Saturday, and I've just been doing a pop of knitting, and wanted to show you, but my hair looked absolutely crazy, so now I'm trying to fix it first, obviously. Okay, so I started this sock, and I've got it attached for like a news reporter. I've got it attached right here. Please ignore the dying plant. I've got it attached, and it's actually working out quite well. My initial I'm blanking on the words. My initial plan was to take advantage of the lovely weather we were having today, which high of 74, I think. Cat hair or yarn in my mouth, always one or the other. But I'm super excited about how this is coming out. So this is where I am so far, and there's a cat. Yeah, so I wanted to go for a walk, and I was like, okay, I need an easy thing to knit, stockinette basically, and that's why I put it on the little wrist holder. Then it decided it was gonna rain, so didn't end up going for a walk. Got a migraine anyway, so I guess it worked out. Instead, I've just been sitting in bed, listening to a book. Right now I'm listening to Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's funny because I first read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid several years ago. I feel like it was 2017. I don't really remember at all. And it wasn't really super popular at the time. So it was really easy for me to get an audiobook on the library app. And then when I read Daisy Jones and the 6 the first time. Again, she wasn't like super big, and so there was no line in the library. But now, now thanks to Book Talk and BookTube explosion that's happened in the past few years, like there's always a line if you want to read Taylor Jenkins Reid. But Malibu Rising had like a 2-week wait at one of the libraries, so I was like, okay, I'll put in a request. And then Carrie Soto was available, so I put it in, and I was like, I kind of really wanted to read Malibu Rising first, but wasn't available. So I put in, I borrowed Carrie Soto, and then like a couple minutes later, it was like, Malibu Rising is now available. Okay, so I have both on hold, on loan actually, and they're both about 11 hours long, so I'm hoping that I can get them both finished within the next like 2 weeks for the loans lapse, which would be nice. Also, just been watching some YouTube vlogs. I like doing that while I knit, and I'm absolutely loving the way this is looking. I also really wanted, the lighting is horrendous, but I will show you in better lighting. I really just wanted a super basic vanilla sock to emphasize like the beautiful variegation in this yarn. So I had started looking through this book, and then I realized, no, I need something with like this, like a lot of these are really good for if you want to do like lace patterns and it's just like a single color, or if there are some like color work patterns in here. Where is it? I just flipped through. This one's Charlotte Stone's, which I'd really like to do. That one. Anyway, so I decided to go with just a vanilla sock. And everything I know about vanilla socks, I learned from Crazy Sock Lady. I follow her pattern usually, always. And at this point, I know it pretty well that I don't really have to look at it other than to figure out my stitch count always and for the heel. And yeah, that's where I'm at with that. And I'm really excited about it. It's gonna look super cute. I haven't decided how long I want to make the leg. And problem is I never know like when to stop based on like when I'm gonna run out of yarn, because this is the first sock, you know. So there's that. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits here for now. Feed the cats. He's super hyper. And oh my goodness, you're so cute. Come here, little cute boy. Also, just finished reading this today. I've been reading it for about 2 weeks or so. This is my workbook. I usually have one book that a physical copy that I keep at work, and I am on a mission this year, starting in the month of March, to make my way through my physical TBR. I have way too many books that I own that I haven't read, and I just keep like getting books at the library. Why don't I just read the books that I own that I haven't read? So I read this book. I also read this book this month. This one was a 4-star for me. I had never read an Allie Smith, and I own 4 of her books, I'm pretty sure. Because I was like, I think I'll probably like her. You know, she's pretty popular in the book sphere. And I am happy to say that I do like her writing style. And I really enjoyed this first book in the quartet, her seasonal quartet. I really enjoyed it. There are times where I feel maybe Allie Smith is on a different plane than I am, whether it be in terms of intelligence or artistic creativity. Sorry, it's really windy and I have the window open. Ooh, there's a severe weather warning right now for wind, which is fun. So that's my thoughts on that. I'm excited to like pick up my next few books that I have of hers. Then Dangers of Smoking in Bed. This is translated by, it's in here somewhere. It's in here. Don't worry. Translated by Megan McDowell too. And this was really a cover buy for me. I think I got it on Blackwell's. And I knew when I bought it that it was a short story collection, but when I started reading it again, had completely forgotten that it was short stories. I liked I had two stories that were my favorite. First one being The Lookout, and the next one was the last story, I believe, back when we talked to the dead. I liked that one. I didn't like super vibe with the book. It's kind of like it's like true horror, like real life type of horror, but not. There's a lot of ghosts and there's a lot of like people coming back from the dead type of a thing, and which is usually my thing. I like reading horror, but I don't know, it just didn't really stick with me. And I also felt that some of the horror elements around women were just not really my taste, which is strange. Usually that's like a man wrote it, and I'm not into how he wrote women, but just a lot of excessive masturbation, if you wanted to know. Anyway, so those two are recent finishes, which I'm really excited about. And currently reading on my iPad Brandon Sanderson's latest Kickstarter book, which is called The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England, a long title, and I'm only 30 something pages into it, but yeah, super excited to read that because I absolutely loved his first Kickstarter book, which is called Tress of the Emerald Sea, and is now available for everyone, which is super cool. Anyway, that's all I have to say in terms of knitting and books. Yeah. Voiceover Kara here to make fun of myself clearly not knowing how to just like push a pin in. Literally, that's all you do is you just push. You got it. You can do it. Come on, there's no trick to it. You just
a little bit of effort. There you go. There you go. Congrats. You did it. And now the cat blocks the view. Because that's the way the cookie crumbles. Clearly not showing off. Ooh, look at his pretty colors. I didn't know he had like some like light colors in there. But now look at the pretty colors of the yarn. Clearly, this is what I was trying to show in the first place. Okay, now here we've got me casting on, long tail cast on, obviously, go-to cast on, and I was gonna like put some music over this or whatever, but turns out if you turn the volume up, you can hear some neighbors outside like spilling some tea. So if you want to listen, and like a little cat ASMR of this is what it's like to try to knit with a kitten. Pretty much impossible. You just gotta like pretend like he's not there. But yeah, tune in.
Excuse me.
Hello, this is gonna be my last clip where I showed you the finished project of the dinosaur by Nicole Chase. I now know. Didn't think it through and I gifted it this weekend. And because I do everything at the last minute, I washed it at the last minute, frantically waited it for it to dry, and I was like, as soon as it's dry, I will make a video about it. It never really dried completely when I packed it up. So there's that. My thoughts on it are that, did I speak about it yet? I think I did a bit. So it's quite a simple project to do if you know crochet, making an object that's not like, you know, your typical crochet blanket or whatever, you know, or even a garment. It's quite simple. There's not a lot of different types of stitches, so I felt like the creating each of the different pieces was very simple to do. In terms of assembling it, that's where things got a little trickier for me. The polyester filling that I used, I found it was difficult to really shape the pieces how I wanted them to be. Like I wanted the feet to be a little bit larger, like bulbous on the bottom and then get skinnier. But the shape was just like not really there unless I kind of like squished it.
Other than that, I was like, let's be real, winging it when it came to assembly. I didn't really mark where I was planning on assembling, to an extent, like a little bit, you know, but I was like, I'm not really counting, you know, to make sure things are lining up exactly. And I think where I really fucked it up was in the arms. When I looked at it again after I'd kind of finished it and like redid the arms twice, they still seemed a little low in terms of like the proportions of the body. And I really couldn't figure out the head. The head was, so the crest was just a bit too heavy with this yarn. I think if it was cotton, I think it would have been a bit stiffer and held up well. With this yarn, it felt kind of heavy and it was kind of like not sitting up the way I liked it. And the head was just so heavy. The head just, I think that was just my biggest gripe. Is that the word? My biggest problem that I found was just the head was so heavy, and then the way that just gravity was pulling it down, pulling it back this way, and then I tried to sew more of the front, like the neck kind of down onto the body a bit more to hold it down a little more, and then it would just fall forward. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too like perfectionist about it. But I also embroidered little eyes, because obviously it's for a baby. I'm not gonna put little plastic eyes. I did put like a little I put little like green stitches throughout it to kind of give it a little definition. I think that was the only thing that I did differently. You know, different yarn and different eyes, and everything else was basically the same, I would say. It just doesn't look as cute as the original creators. But I haven't heard anything back in terms of what the receivers thought of it, but I will insert pictures because obviously can't show it off because I no longer own the piece. But yeah, thanks for watching. This is my first like yarn podcast type of a thing. A little bit of just kind of more vlog style, kind of walking you through like different moments instead of just like me talking in one go. It's like I tend to babble. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this, that's, you know, cool beans. And we'll see what comes up next.